Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. Alright, so what is Bitcoin doing? Yesterday, when we left off, we were looking at Bitcoin precariously dangling on the bottom of our lower trend line, right? And we've had this lower trend line of this rising or ascending channel since July 25th. A lot of people once again say that it's a rising wedge, but if you've drawn a rising wedge and it breaks out of the rising wedge, which it would have, the technical target is 37,000 thereabouts. Again, in technical analysis, if you draw a rising wedge, the target is to the downside is where the wedge started, which would be around here, 37,324, right? If you drew this wedge. So just think about this being a wedge. Why is it not, and I keep repeating this because it's very important. Why is this not a good wedge, technically speaking? Because it doesn't have enough targets to the downside. Let's try it out once and for all. This would be the wedge-ish. Okay, why is this not a valid wedge? There's one touch point throughout the entire life cycle, except, here during the breakout, right? Wedges break out typically 3/4 of the way towards the pinnacle, towards the apex of the pattern. And you would have only had one touch point, and I believe that you need at least 2 or 3 touch points, right? So this is not a wedge. Let's delete that. It's an ascending channel. It's broken out once. After 4 red days, went back up, reached the top of the channel. What did it do? 4 red days. What's it most likely to do? It's most likely to test the top of that channel again. So this is, again, why when you're charting, get creative. Try many different things. But again, it's important to look at the rules and what constitutes, why one pattern can be valid and one pattern cannot. And it wouldn't, if there aren't enough touch points, it's not technically a valid pattern, and it doesn't help you in your analysis, because then you get all confused. Well, why is it faking out? It's a fake out breakdown. No, it's not a fake out breakdown. It's breaking out or breaking down from a channel that it's been kind of working within for like 2-3 weeks. And these breakdowns happen, but it doesn't invalidate the channel, right? Our channel is still valid. And right now what's happened is that it's actually getting back into the channel. And what you can do actually is increase your channel. Why? Because now you have 2 touch points. Does everybody see? I hope you guys see. If you're getting value from this, please hit the like button, right? It's important. Look at the rules, right? There are rules to this. Everybody's charting these days, and that's great. But look at the rules. It helps. It helps you make better decisions. Anyway, what's Bitcoin likely to do? It is likely to find its way back to the top of this channel. Is it 100%? No, this is technical analysis. This is a game of probability. Again, 4 red days down. We've seen that before. Now, after that, you typically get 4 days up at least, because this is just, the up and down motion, the synovial motion of this trend that we're seeing. Let's zoom in. All right, let's see more clarity, more definition on these patterns. Okay, I'm in the 15-minute chart. What is Bitcoin doing? And mind you, I did change the lower trend line. I moved it down. Why? Because we had 2 touch points to the bottom. So it's valid if I take my lower trend line and move it down and say, hey, this channel's actually a little wider than I originally thought. That's okay. You can do that, right? Now it's a valid channel, again, because it has multiple touch points, at least 2 touch points to the downside. All right. It just makes sense. Okay. Now, we had an ABC correction. This is clear ABC. And it hit, what did we say yesterday? We said that if it did not breach this line of $48,173.42 on this chart, obviously, that would be slightly different on different charts. But if it didn't breach that line, that we were most likely going down to 44,000. And what happened? We went down to $44,224. Again, we're in a bull trend, meaning that there's a lot of people with limit orders set to buy Bitcoin every single time it dips, right? So people are front running, and you're most likely not going to hit your technical targets to the downside, right? The technical target to the downside of this triple, here, let's draw it out. Sorry, I'm looking for the tool. Okay, let's try it out. This triple top, if you recall, I said we were getting a triple top. A triple top is a bearish construction, right? You had one here. What happened? Fake, not going to break down. Bitcoin is very bullish. Then now you have another one. The technical target is the distance between the top, the neckline, and breaking the neckline. It would have took, if you did all the way here, it would have taken you down to about 44, right? You see that? I'm trying to take the average of, I'm on the 15-minute chart, so I'm getting a lot of noise, but the average of these moves here, probably like this, and here's the neckline. Your technical target would be about 44, right? That's what we're getting. It did not hit 44. It hit just shy of 44, so more or less hit the target. Again, you're in a bull trend. These are all reasons why when people say we're in a bear market, it doesn't make sense technically speaking, because technically speaking, a bull trend is characterized by bearish targets, bearish constructions, bearish patterns not meeting their technical targets. They're constantly being front run, again, by people looking to buy the asset before it hits that target. That's why we're in a bull trend, right? That's what it means. It doesn't mean I'm bullish on Bitcoin or I like Bitcoin. A bull trend literally means you're going up more often than you're going down. So we hit our target, right? Again, if you were in a rising wedge, I stress the target was 37. You didn't hit 37. That just confirms you're not in a rising wedge. You're in a rising channel. And literally 95% of technical analysts on YouTube are saying it's a rising wedge. It is not a rising wedge. Like, be careful. Just because it's said on YouTube doesn't mean it's correct. Just because I'm saying it doesn't mean it's correct. Do your own research. Look up. You can do this on the internet. Look up what constitutes a rising wedge, how many touch points you need, what constitutes a rising channel, so on and so forth. You'll get better, right? And do this as you go along. Okay, what's it doing? We have an ABC correction. We kind of hit the bottom of the bottom target. What happened there? We got a strong candle. This was a particularly strong candle showing a lot of buying pressure. This was the low point. Now we're slowly making higher highs and higher lows. Very slowly. Why is it slow? There's resistance, right? Remember the huge resistance at 45,000. It took us ages to break through on when we're below it. So we're working on that right now. And there are EMAs, exponential moving averages. Here is the 55 exponential moving average. Also, the 144 exponential moving average. Those are going to cross as soon as we pass the 144, meaning the 55 crosses the 144. That's going to catapult us up. Also, if you're just looking at basic patterns, what do you have here? You have what we call a cup and handle pattern. There's your handle, okay? Excuse my drawing. I'm not Picasso, but you get the idea. So that's the cup. That's the handle. This is a bullish construction. What's the technical target? It's the bottom of the cup to the neckline. So the top of the cup, this is your neckline, right? Let's draw that out even further. Boom, that's your neckline. So when Bitcoin breaches on this chart, 45,324, and it has already once, twice, but it didn't close. Well, it closed above over here, but maybe it did a little retest. When it closes significantly above this trend line, we're going to get, well, it's not 100%, but we're likely to get, again, this is technical analysis, we're likely to get a move to the upside, catapulting us to $46,333. Again, we're in a bull trend, so these moves to the top are most likely to happen. Once we get to that, you get an inverse head and shoulders, right? Which has another technical target to the upside, and so on and so forth. That's how Bitcoin matriculates up back into the middle of this channel, and slowly but surely out of it from the top side. Okay, so you see bullish construction on the 15-minute chart. You see it a bit on the 3-minute, 30-minute chart. We're likely to have completed our mini correction. Why do I say this is a mini correction? Again, if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll know I don't foresee a large correction in Bitcoin until we reach our target of 56,000. It was 55,000 before. Now it's more 56,000, given when we will most likely break out, right? And then you get the natural sort of Elliott wave correction of about 10%. I've measured it from the third wave to the fourth wave. Again, this is just an estimate, but this correction, quote unquote, that we got yesterday, everybody's saying, oh, we're due for a correction. Like, that's not how it works. Yes, there is sentiment, and people think, oh, we've been going up for so long, we must go down. We had actually, and I'm going to show this. Well, I already showed this. We had 4 red days, 4 red candles, meaning moves to the downside for 4 consecutive days before this. So it's not like we'd been just skyrocketing. Again, let's see, this big, Bitcoin move to the downside was a whopping 3.7%, 3.78%. That's not a correction. That's not anything to sort of relinquish your position for. I mean, you can if you're scalping. Scalping is basically when you're trading small amounts, small moves up or down. I wouldn't recommend that. Again, not financial advice, but if you have a good position, keep it. That's how you make money. You find a good position. You don't get scared out of selling your position too early. You let it mature. You let your trade take shape. If it's a short, if it's a long, you let it take shape. And then once it hits your target or near that, then you pull the trigger and you move on to the next one. So yeah, this is why, I personally didn't touch anything. Obviously my liquidation for my trades are way down. For my spot, my investments, I'm not touching that anyway until the end of the bull run. But this is not something that you sound the alarms for. This is a minor correction, basically a move down to the bottom of a channel. And if you correctly look at this trend and you draw this trend, and this is another reason why I like to redraw things. I'm not too proud to say when I'm wrong, or you saw me adjust this line. You have some YouTubers saying, oh, I haven't changed this trend line in months. Well, that's not a good idea, right? Something is good when it's good when you get more information and you refine your position, you refine your opinion on certain things. It doesn't mean you were wrong. Maybe you could say you were wrong, but it just means that you're more right because you gain more information and you make better decisions. And the whole point at the end of the day is to make money, make your trade. There's some channels, and I watch them because I try to learn and see what everybody else is doing as well. That say, oh, I haven't changed this trend line in months. No, that's not a good idea. move your trend lines if you think that there are things that make more sense. And that's another reason, again, why I like to sometimes erase my work and look at it over with fresh eyes, not to bias myself into thinking, oh, I said it, so it must be right. Like, excuse my French, but fuck that. I don't care if I said it. I want to challenge myself. If it's not correct, I'd rather be, I'd rather be correct and make that, make that money and win that trade than be right, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm rambling. That's what's happening with Bitcoin. I believe that the correction is finished. Again, this is technical analysis. This is probability. It's not 100%, but that is my analysis. I hope that's useful. I hope that's helpful. Please like if you've gotten value, and I'll see you. Bye.